let's just get a 90% yes today. And I know there's 10% of you that's probably like, probably have some doubts and whatnot. I'm okay with that. That's pretty normal. But let's just at least get a 90% yes today and start kicking rocks. You cool with that? Like, oh yeah. And then you close them.
Are you sick of not hitting the numbers you're supposed to hit, making the money you want to make? Door-to-Door is a professional collaboration to up-level and bring honor and dignity to direct sales. If you're not on the doors by 9 o'clock on a Saturday, you're missing a lot of important people, because most people, they're the ones getting up slowly, and they're trying to get ready to get out and go do something fun on a Saturday. So you're catching some key people early on a Saturday morning when you would never catch them during the week because they're so busy with kids' sports games and get busy with this. So just make sure to leverage early Saturday morning.
The power of stupidity. So you guys are gonna laugh, but the power of stupidity is the ability to be smart about how being dumb. Meaning, like, when somebody asks you an objection and they're like, hey, or like they give you an objection, they're like, I'm not interested, or like, oh, how much is it? You play the card of like, what we were doing, and you just keep going. Like or they say, hey, we're busy, we're eating dinner, or we're just in the middle of cooking dinner. You reply back with like, oh no, I've already eaten, that's fine. And you keep talking. And they're like, it doesn't make sense, but it's just the power of stupidity in the sense of they now don't want to be uncomfortable correcting you, but you can just keep moving because they're like, and then you just keep transitioning. All right, we're here in Starbucks. We just had our Saturday morning meeting. Okay, what did we learn, everybody?
No pausing. No fun.
No pausing. What was the 2 principles we're applying today?
Something about stupidity. Power of stupidity and passively persistent.
Power of stupidity and passively persistent. The second principle is the power of passive aggressive, meaning I'm passively persistent. Now what I mean by that is somebody's like, well, I'm not interested, I'm not buying anything. Like, oh no, that's totally fine. You don't have to like buy it right now, that's fine. But just so you know, kind of what we do. No, dude, not interested. Oh, that's fine, just so you kind of know. But what we do is we put the meter, or whatever you're selling, it's like, dude, somebody already stopped by. It's like, oh, awesome, I'm so glad they did. So what we did is we're actually a little different, and you just keep going. So you're passively smiling, you're humble about it, and it's almost kind of like one goes in one ear, out the other, but you're persisting in the sense of you don't allow the pause. Most people fail because they allow a pause and they go, did that work? Like, oh, that's fine, just so you know. So like, would you have 10 minutes to meet? And they pause. So what I would say is be passively persistent and use the power of stupidity. Little tip, when knocking a neighborhood, just making sure you're paying attention to the signs of who you're about to talk to. So like, for example, if you see like a minivan, you're gonna know, okay, this is probably like a younger family. Or if you see grass that's just like torn up, you're like, okay, there's a high chance this is a renter. Or if you see, a nice Camaro and a sweet car out there, you're like, okay, this guy's more of a buyer. If you see that things are all buttoned up and it's kind of a more organized house, you're like, okay, this person's more sophisticated. They're a little bit more put together. I gotta be more put together. So just making sure to prospect a home, paying attention before you actually knock the door, so you can make some, adjustments to your approach and how you show up for the people before you knock. Fun little tip. With Andrew, and we decided this little training is gonna be on, you can kind of feel if people are home or not home, meaning when you approach a house, you can feel the energy of people inside, and you just sit there and feel into it, and then don't waste your time if you don't feel the energy of people inside.
How are you, Mr. Sales? No. He's the landlord? Oh, okay. So you guys just friends? Yeah. Do you know him personally?
What do you guys need?
We're just going around doing some site surveys, checking up on the net meters, getting people informed.
Alright. About what? Brucey, come on.
Just about your guys' electricity bill, really. We're just trying to cut costs.
I think we're good with it right now. I'll let him know you guys swung by. What company?
We're with 101.
101? Do you guys have business cards?
We're going greens. Yeah, that's the thing.
101. Alright, I'll go Google you guys and let him know.
For sure, no worries, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Here's a cool little like insight that I'm talking solar for a second. You know, he's like, what would be good? Like, what should I shoot for? And he's like, look, I said, look, if you can set, and I'm in San Diego, so I'm like, if you could set 3 appointments a day, 2 of them will actually sit, one of them's actually interested. One of them's like a solid sit. I'm like, look, if you could do that, then you're sitting with one solid person every day. Every other day you should sell that. So you're getting a sell every other day. You should close at 50%. If you're sitting down with 2 and one of them is actually listening, you should be closing at 50%. And I was like, okay, so that means you're closing one every other day. And then you're gonna have one of those a week that's just gonna cancel. Just accept that. That would be a very simple ratio or a very good model to follow to be really consistent solar.
If you like what you saw, there's plenty more where that came from. Join the tribe and hit the button below. Subscribe today.